Both domestic violence and gun violence are huge issues here in Hampton Roads, really all across the country too. But what happens when these two intersect?
The Associated Press is reporting gun death rates are at their highest levels in decades, and new data shows a lot of mass shootings are linked to domestic violence.
News 3 investigative reporter Zach Dahlheimer spoke with a local survivor and with police. We do want to warn you, some of what you are about to hear is disturbing.
I felt really alone. I was embarrassed.
Jasmine Smith lives in Hampton Roads now, but her journey started roughly 20 years ago in Las Vegas when she met her ex-husband while in high school.
The first time that he ever pulled a gun on me, I was 17, and it was my prom.
They ended up being together on and off for 6 years, even getting married while Smith served in the Army.
I always thought we're going to get married, so you know that I'm committed to you, so the violence will stop. It was complete opposite. It was, I own you now.
She says over time, the violence got worse.
He made me open up my mouth and stand up against the wall, and he put the shotgun in my mouth, and he made his brother and my brother come in and watch. It got to a point where I was always thinking, just do it.
You wanted him to pull the trigger.
I did.
But the will to live came when she found out she was pregnant with her daughter, Brianna.
And I found out that I had a life inside of me, and all of a sudden I wanted to live.
She eventually left her ex-husband, but Smith says the violence culminated one night in 2009 in Las Vegas while picking up her 2-year-old daughter.
He put his hands in the window. He ripped the entire window off. As soon as he did that, I let go of the brake and I started to go off. Well, by then he grabbed me, so he was strangling me in the car. He had that gun in his hand the entire time, and he tries to shoot. The gun is jammed. Next thing you know, he's hitting me in the head with the gun. He bit my eyebrow. If you look closely under my makeup, you'll see that he literally bit my entire eyebrow off right here. I definitely heard the gun go off. I definitely seen it in his hand. He had backed up from the car and he took off running.
Police caught, arrested, and charged her ex-husband, and he ended up going to prison.
When you think of it, you know, someone purchases a weapon in most cases to have in their homes to protect their family, not to hurt their family.
News 3 Investigates is digging deeper into the connection between gun violence and domestic violence. A new study by the Educational Fund to Stop Gun Violence found in more than 2/3 of mass shootings analyzed, the perpetrator either killed family or intimate partners, or the shooter had a history of domestic violence.
It's very concerning.
Sergeant Lannis Jaluso with Virginia Beach Police has worked on domestic violence cases.
Quite often, guns, if they're not being used during the crimes, there's a threat of potential firearms being used in the future.
She says Virginia Beach Police offers safekeeping for weapons.
If we have something that is going on, there is a concern that somebody is wanting to hurt themselves, or there might be a domestic situation, typically we're going to ask if that person does come to pick up the gun, there's a note on it for an officer to meet with that individual. And we want to ask, how are you mentally? You know, do you want to hurt somebody? What's going on? And try to see if there's anything further that would prevent them or would be more beneficial for them not to have that weapon.
Jaluso tells me emergency substantial risk orders have also been helpful since they went into effect in Virginia in 2020. These orders prevent someone who shows signs of being a threat to themselves or others from buying, possessing, or transporting a firearm. According to Jaluso, Virginia Beach had 11 of these orders issued last year and 3 orders so far for 2023. She also believes more can be done in the state when it comes to mental health.
I do believe there needs to be more provisions put in place when allowing individuals access to weapons based on their mental health history, treatment, or their lack of.
As for Smith, she's now engaged and her family has grown with a newborn son. She's also sharing her story to young people throughout Hampton Roads.
In my mind, I'm thinking, let me get to you sooner. You know, let me be able to engage this younger generation before they grow up and make these types of mistakes.
Now, Jaluso also tells me there's victim advocates who work for VBPD and respond to scenes anytime to be with families and to help them with food and other resources. Zach Dahlheimer, News 3.